All right, just doing a tape read of Bitcoin, I guess Asia. I just logged on now. Well, I woke up about 30 minutes ago, and I thought that I'll try and make it for the 10 p.m. candle and see, how long I have energy for. So, yeah, no real specific reason to come at this time. Uh, just that's just, how my schedule planned out. But anyway, this is a daily chart. We'll treat this as a parent plus one, if you're familiar with that terminology, if we've done any work together. But yeah, so we have Thursday, 11th September's high, and then we've closed above it Friday. And Saturday, inside bar, and we rebalanced this inefficiency that was remaining. And now the point is, I want to see if this closing price can catalyze a run into that candle's high. Obviously, it is an inside bar, so we have to take that with or into consideration. But yeah, we'll see hourly candle wise what we can get there. So let's go into, so the equivalent would be, I guess, if you treat these as monthly candles, and then this would be like a daily candle basis, if that makes sense. Like that's the perspective that I'm holding. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna speak for the entirety of this. It's just, yeah. And I'm not really looking to take any entries or anything unless something pops up. But yeah, that's just track ideas. But yeah, so we have the open, high, low, and close. So if we're going up, low to close. So from noon on Saturday all the way till the close at uh, 7 p.m. or really 8 7:59 59. You get the point. Like this is the bit of price action that I'm concerning myself with really. And we have this low, this high, and then this candle closed below. We came into this, which I consider as fair value for buying, to use the currency merchants terminology here. So the point is, why is this order block candidate important to me? Because it rests in the lower wick of the previous day, as well as the fact that this, closed below this low, and then now we've closed above this high. And not only that, we've actually printed a bar low above this candle's high. And by the way, it goes without saying, but market's open. Okay, the next candle's just started. So I'm going to remove this because it's adding a little bit of obstacle. Okay. But keep in mind that we're looking at the closing price of this candle, which is 115,968.35. Wow, that's a mouthful. But yeah, we're going to be first, obviously, looking for internal range stuff. Bang, bang. Sorry, I'm just doing my analysis. Bang. Okay. You've taken, have we? One sec. Okay, no, we haven't. But this candle's high over here is first on the menu for me. And then this high is not really of interest to me. The next thing would be this high, or really this opening price over here. But I don't know if we have the legs for that. But this is very like obvious. This is very close, so we'll tape read that. This is not really much of a idea anyway. But the point is that that's where liquidity is for me personally. You have a tiny fair value gap there. I'm gonna try to scroll at a decent pace. Sorry, I got distracted. At a decent pace, so I don't um, go a little bit ahead of where my cursor is, but I don't know where that came from actually. Oh, sorry, I was gonna look at the hourly candle, but the thing is, there's no real like even on a 1 minute chart, there's not enough range. What we can do, so up, down, down, up. So up, down, up, down. So stop hunt. I'm gonna get rid of this. Now we'll just isolate range. Mm, okay, side, south side. So market structure shift would be above this candle's high here, the first candle of the day. So I'm waiting for that, and then we're going to be looking for a sharp retracement inside this range again, if I am right about it going up. But I'm going to mark out. Well, I mean, I'm looking for the opening price of this. Uh, so if we don't sell off from here, then really this high is very likely. But really, what I'm saying is I'm looking at the opening price of this. But since this is just an obvious piece of structure, I'm not gonna ignore it like that. Here, okay. So I'm gonna make this a little more easy on the eyes. I don't want to make it a blue box because then subconsciously it's gonna make me think it's bullish, even though I'm waiting for a confirmation. So we'll make it yellow or orange. I hope my audio's coming in well. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little annoying. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So up, down, up, down, up. So this is the range that I want to study. So the point is, did we take the high first and then the low, and now we're going, or did we take the low? Wait, so my eyes are not the low here is 86518. Low here is 86. Okay, no. So this is a higher low. So we go up, down, and then up. I'm just gonna consider this as a move up. So up, down, up, and then this. So I'm viewing this as a stop hunt at the moment, right? I believe the direction is higher. So once we take out this high, if we can, then I'll be looking for some sort of like a retracement or a run on sell side liquidity, like something to get involved or allow us to get involved analysis wise towards this high, and then like I said, the opening price of this. That's obviously max effort, but I'm dealing with things inside the range. Let's use the body here. Just use the wick. All right. This is also orange because I don't know if this is going to hold to catalyze a run here. Also, the reason I'm picking this is because we've been inside price action for a while. I mean, on an hourly basis, obviously on a day basis, it's just been a day. But this is an internal range target, so it doesn't demand that we take the hourly high, right? So that's why I'm leaving that as a max effort. But so I'll just start labeling these things. Sorry, this is engaged buy side. So basically, it's an old high broken, specifically closed above on a daily. So we'll leave that there. And then this is buy side liquidity. So if this is buy side or it's an old area of buy side, they need to engineering selling here. They need to engineer selling here to consider this as sell side liquidity. That's there. Bang, bang. So that's my narrative, right? So now let's go on the lower time frames here. Okay. So we took out the high first, then the low. Now we're going, okay, so then this guy over here is now interesting to me for the same reason. But again, I'm looking for a protraction back inside here, right? So if we can be small ranged here, then that would be nice because then the following candle can just bang, they hit it. Okay. So buy side, sell side. Okay, now we have market structure shift. So now the point is, can we get a retracement, right? Me. Okay, so now we're gonna populate the hourly candles. I'm trying to work on using more layman terminology so it can be valuable to people outside of the SMC niche. So anyway, this is an old high, right? I'm expecting price to now that it's taken it. Not what I'm expecting. What I would like it to do is have like a retracement, taking out some of these lows because there are people that are long inside of here that have their stop losses parked above these lows, especially as we're making higher highs. Even if they're in from lower here, they're trailing their stop loss as a trade management um, strategy, and they're banking on it just, and it could. They're banking on it just taking this, going down here, and then pumping. But for the sake of tape reading, so if you notice, you have this hour. We took the low of this hour, took the high of this hour. So we're forming what I believe to be a potential 3-bar swing low. So now we have this, right? Okay, buy side. Sorry, my window's open and someone's being not very nice in terms of making a lot of noise outside. But hopefully it's not too obtrusive. Okay, 7 minute. I'm trying to look for a last area of order flow essentially. So we'll put that there. 5 minute. Let's see if that correlates. Yep. Okay, there we go. So we've come into this. Now we'll look at this or not. We'll entertain this idea. Uh, wait, why is the? Oh, okay. Hopefully, there we go. Right there. Then we'll be looking for that. I'll adjust the profit orders and stop loss order to be exact. I just wanted to make it. So we've gone up, down, and then now we're still retracing. So if it comes down into this guy over here, I'll up, down, up. Sorry about that. Here. So this is that old high that was engaged. Now the reason that I'm entering inside the hour is because we could have a protraction, But based on how we're just continually making higher highs and higher lows for the most part and closing above them, it's just, yeah, it makes me feel like it's this candle and individual is gonna just pump. Because let's take this. So we have this, we go up, down, and even inside of here, we're forming this low, right? So to the bodies, yeah. 115,980, 17, 50, 980, 16. Tar here. 116,249.99. Go. So we'll make this orange for buy side liquidity. So again, this is the range. So I was looking at this being essentially like a bearish dealing range pattern wise for retail, even the retail smart money perspective. And so because of that, obviously this high took out this low, the stop loss is there. There's liquidity above us. The narrative just made sense. So we have this guy over here. We don't have to, but if we can come into here, that would be a nice thing to study to see if we can continue going up. So now I'm paying attention to this. Yeah, we're just rushing. Okay. We have this high as well. We could mohawk a little bit below this if we did come into this at all, and then work this wick over here. But I'm basically leaving that allowance. I should probably do that. Okay, we've come into this. This is a little bit high in implied premium, so I wouldn't take an entry there to be honest, but it's a good thing to study because I mean, where's my stop loss going to be, right? It's the best thing would be if we came into the inefficiency below, which we have now. So now we can entertain doing this. Okay, now the average price has kind of crept up on me, so I'm gonna put this in the bodies here. So 115, 994, 37. 436. There's nothing really other than this. So maybe take off one here and then have terminus here. Again, it's the higher of the candle that really makes sense but I mean, I would have to be there for a while recording this, so there. It's a very sharp retracement. Here, I'll eyeball it for now. Good there. So yeah, now I want to see it start to close above this now. So we're roughly at equilibrium of the inner hour delivery. Revisiting the broken high. This area, I'd like price to hold in this area as support, is because we have this blue line and then we have the orange line as well. So that's a lot of nested kind of confluence for support. Now I want to see it close above this, to be honest. I don't want to see that yellow box hold is. Here, you know what? Then might as well screw it. Have all three. Because now I have three entries. And that wasn't planned, it's just it offered me that, so okay, so I don't want to see it reject bearishly on the yellow box. That's not what I want to see. Here, I'll put that there. I'll fix it later, but it's good enough for now. Okay, I want to see it move higher. Okay. That's four. I'm good with four. Because discount wise, we're an implied discount, especially now if we're factoring in these targets above, right? So again, these are the sorry. Uh this this 116 280 70 and 116 349 49 are the two like main draws. This is like something that's just overlapping. So I'm leaving it on here just because it's an obvious piece of structure, like I said. But really I'm looking at these two. One sixteen 378.03. And to be clear, I'm not holding out for that. It's more so of if there's some crazy like spike, then it'll at least fill me out at the best possible price. So I'm done with entries. That's four. Now, if it starts showing unwillingness to get above this high, then that makes me feel like it might do a small ranged hourly candle, and then maybe on the next hourly candle or the next few hourly candles run out this low and then go higher if I'm right about this at all. So we need to start seeing it want to take that out if I'm right about direction at all. Let's that's that order block from the hourly candle. Okay, so that's not what I want to see as far as the holding as resistance. Again, if these two lines fail to act as support, that's when it becomes a problem for this bias, and I'll just flip bias, and that's fine. But based on the hourly and the daily, I'm leaning more towards this guy. We have a tiny little balanced price range inside of here, and that's basically like a support zone. Um, so let's see if that can hold, and then it push. Push above this orange box. Okay. Okay, it's taking too long, so I'm gonna scrap it. And if it gives me another opportunity to, but I'll go in with four directly next time. I'm not, not essentially, testing to see if the play is there this time. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, now it's looking like it wants to go down. Oh, down. So maybe this is the stop hunt, and then we could be going down, right? But at the same time, it could be waiting for the next hour. So unless we go below this, I can't be bearish. So we'll just have to wait. That's okay. I'm gonna start getting rid of the markers just because it's starting to cloud up the screen real estate. So let's get rid of that. Oh, that's this. Let's get rid of these things over here. Okay, so high taken. Now we need some measure of sell side, right? Because if it were to have pumped, it should have done it right from here. Because or at least from here. Um, and we still could do that. But the point is that now it just makes it, you know, like why is it like holding is my point. Why is this not letting price go higher, right? Or even now we can look for this. We're not even coming into this. We're just holding right here. Why are we failing to do that? We can scalp this. Get this for now. There's sell side liquidity here. Let's see if okay, this is below. So what should have been a support area is now being used as resistance. So now we're coming back into here. I don't want to see this hold at all. I want to see it at least run out this low before the hour, ideally. Okay, I wouldn't usually trade this in like an actual thing, but since obviously I'm here, I'm filming. I want to be getting some content, so that's why it's a good way to practice as well. Um, we have this guy. Where's the hour start? Here. Okay. Here. Bang, 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 bang. Okay. This guy over here. This guy over. This is like my max effort. So if we can get down into there somewhere. Partial down here for sure. Take 3 off there. Oh, wow. By 3. Just eyeballing it for now. Here. This is a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which means from this candle's high to this candle's low, only buy side has been offered, so only green candles have been offered. So we'll see if this can act as resistance now. Up here. Make this orange. So we could work into this area. That's fine. That's a nice coincidence. Uh, so this guy over here. This is sell side liquidity above a sell side inefficiency. So this should be like a giant, spotlight as far as wanting to pull price into this direction. Now, again, just to remind you, um, while this develops, real time data market is open. This is paper trading, yes, but I'm clearly executing in real time. I'm speaking to you. I'm actually watching a podcast on the left, which you won't be able to see because I'm cropping that out. But the point is, it's also a 1 minute chart. Uh, what else can I say? Coinbase. It's not my brokerage or anything. Like so, obviously futures are closed on the weekend, but I mean, this is the next best thing as far as quote unquote credible data feeds and everything. All right, so coming with here. I'm actually gonna close out myself. 116.07540. Just that's actually yeah. So like I was saying, I mean, there was no like plan or anything. I just woke up after 9, and I was like, there's time to make it for. Okay, now watch the blue box. It's time to make it for the uh 10 p.m. candle, and so it wasn't like premeditated. There's no news that I'm aware of. I just logged on and I started recording when the like when the recording began. It's not like I did some pre-analysis or whatever. You literally saw me do everything in front of you. So, and I did say that I wanted to see this get taken before the end of the hour. I said that if this is not holding price, especially after this, to continue higher into those targets I had mentioned, then I mean, really, there's no reason to expect that we're going to continue higher, is my point. So then at that point, I started to entertain the bearish bias, not necessarily overall, but just for the hour. And that's important because you saw the narrative of real time how this was a support level. I was buying. Well, obviously, I bought here, and then I was buying through here, even here and here. But then when we started to stall at this area, like we should have just hit it and then gone. Just like we had over here, but then the opposite. But because we didn't do that and this was holding, it meant that at least for the hour, we're not, um, you know, it's not likely that we go higher because it's reluctant to go above this. So then, in my mind, I didn't say it out loud. I was like, okay, next is opening price. But if I say opening price, I might as well just give the low over there. So that's what I did. Now let's see if we can. You know what? I'm just gonna Trello stop back to break even just because I don't want to choke it. I want to see it, go as much as possible. Let me also bring this to fill the gap. What's the low on this thing? 115.924.80. So now 115.924.81. Let's see. 115.924.81. Oh wait, there we go. And that would be a fill of this blue box. So like, let's see. If we came into this, it would be really nice. But like, this is technically all one inefficiency, so it's okay. So we're staying in the lower half of this, which is nice. What we want to see. It's a sign of a weak market. Yeah, sub one tile ICT, it definitely works on crypto. Definitely works on crypto. That's it. That's nice. It's a nice little snippet. Um, have the business up here. Let's hide all the annotations. I probably should have grouped them, to be honest. But again, like I said, these aren't like pre-planned or anything. So, but I should get in the habit of this just so it's easier to do this at the end. Let's group that stuff. Hide it. All right. Awesome. Now I'll just show it one by one. This was the first entry. We went long here. And then I went long again here. Right there. So this first, second long, third long, fourth long, right? And then at this point, because it wasn't going up, if you rewind, you'll see that I shut it off here. And then because the fact that I don't think I said it like this, but I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like the fact that this gap over here did not catalyze a move higher to take out this high. Yeah, you could say we want to run liquidity maybe or take out liquidity, but we already did on a bar by bar basis. So yeah, especially because we took out that hourly high as well. So I wanted to see a little bit more displacement if we had to do it all in the same hour, but we did not. We were holding this, or really holding this as resistance now. So what would have been support turned resistance, and that's why I closed out here. That itself, the lack of, I guess, bullish order flow coming into the market uh, was enough to tip its hand to me where, as long as we're trending, even though we had inside bars on the daily, on the hourly, you can still trade inside the range. So I wanted to see hourly trending profiles, or an hourly trending state of delivery, expansive state of delivery. And because of that, I didn't have to start pyramiding again. I knew that I could just go in with my full quote unquote size from all the way from jump, just because if I am right about the flip, then uh, or inversion logic, then it should just dump, right? So that's why I went in over here. Four initially because then it allows me to take off in 25% increments. This then gave me, because we offered sell side, buy side, and then sell side again. So this area is balanced, leaving a balanced price range, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, old low, hit this, and that was enough over here. So we were six deep, and then this low over here was my majority partial, right over here, just shy of the low, not bad. And then obviously my terminus was this inefficiency over here, right? So not bad for an hour. Let's let's bring that back. Let's turn that off for a second. The markers. Let's take an image. Okay, off. Okay, so that got taken. I'm just trying to set up an image. Just give me a sec. Making it pleasing to the eye. I'm waiting for the next hour so we can see if it can go, because obviously we had up, down, up, and now we've retraced all the way down here. So I want to see, okay, do we take out this low and then go up? If we can at all, then that would be the next bag leg, like as in breakaway gaps, large range displacement. If I am right about it going up after, but we don't have to. I'm content with this. Okay, so let's go here. Oh, my apologies. Okay, download. Awesome. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I'll redo or I'll scrap all the inner hour analysis when the hour is just shy of changing. So for now, what I would actually, let me do it now. There's no point anyway, because I'm expecting it to, or I would like it to, for the bullish narrative, if we can see that, um, start to now range into the close essentially. So let's go into the hourly chart just to get our bearings straight. All right. So range, buy side taking, sell side taking, buy side. So either we take out this low and then we pump, which it looks like it could because it's come so close to it. But then if we did run for this high, then it would need to be speed all the way into this guy. But again, I keep reminding you that we're looking at this opening price, which is 116,280, and then 116,349.49. But like I said, this is just more convenient for me because it's closer. But if we're doing hourly, if, in fact, even this is good. But since this is right here, might as well. Sorry, someone's outside my window. Okay. Um, all right. So we have sell side liquidity. I'm gonna just move this here. Okay. This is sell side liquidity. So there are people that are long or whom have been buying from down here in the previous hour. And maybe they have in partial, maybe they have, but their original stops would be here. So I'm looking to see if we can maybe in this hour hit this and then range, or then stop just shy of it and then next hour dump and then go up. If. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Shout out to the inner circle trader, of course, and the currency merchant, without whom I definitely, yeah, I don't want to say it's easy for me, but it's just if anyone has had the largest impact in terms of me, you know, being able to actually put pen to paper consistently, it's definitely been obviously both of them. Like, but Kish in itself, yeah, I think everyone that's worked with him knows that he's a real deal. So really grateful for that. But okay, so this is really suspect to me right now. I'm gonna let's pull up some core. Okay, so this is way farther. But again, it doesn't have to be a reversal signature. It could just be that this has to catch up and take out the low. This is a Ripple, I believe. I'm not much of a crypto bro. So LTC USD. Okay. So Bitcoin is the closest to take the low of the previous hour, ETH USD. I'm gonna start getting crypto advertisements now. Just watch, just because I'm talking about it so much. It's bound to happen because my phone's obviously next to me. They're probably listening, so probably gonna get crazy Kraken advertisements. But anyway, all right. So this guy. This would be like the telltale sign. So if we are bearish, then um, this would need to hold, or if we run up a maybe this high, then those things would need to hold and then catalyze a run lower, which is fine. Downside target is if we did go down, which right now I have no reason to believe based on the higher time frame, but if we did go down, the high of this candle would be the draw. So that's 115, 720, 40. You just have your levels and then just act accordingly. As long as you can anticipate a trending or expensive state delivery, it's fine. All right, I'm gonna mute myself until there's something to say. I'm gonna watch a podcast, but yeah. Sorry. If we do, and it looks like we might if we come in this, so we have, now we'll see that, okay, can this red box or this high over here, let's identify that right over here, can either of these catalyze or run now below the blue line, right? That's where we're going to be watching. So I'll mute myself. It's not a tradable idea or anything. It's just a fractal that we can study. So All right, I'm just gonna rush to the washroom, but so obviously I'll be in the washroom, so I can't unmute. But we've now filled this red box, so now either we dump for the blue line, or we stall here, and then I'll be visualizing, or I'll be watching what this red line does. If we can, if we don't dump from here, then if we can go up from here, I'll be looking for, okay, can we first of all close back below this red box, treat it a resistance, and then run out this low, and if not, then this in fact may just remain like this. But yeah, this is a little bit sketchy. I'm not really familiar with crypto that much, but just yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving any stops below here. So I would much rather prefer if it has to go up, um, go down and then run up, whether it be from here to here or here. But yeah, if it leaves this, it just tells me that it's likely than not to take it at some point. Now, whether we go up there and then take it after, that's different. But I just wouldn't feel comfortable regardless, even if it skyrockets a million points. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I'll mute myself and go to the washroom, and yeah. Okay. Uh, so sorry, I'm a little bit late. We did exactly what I thought we were gonna do. Well, actually, not quite. We're just shy of this. Yeah, this is really suspect. Leaving this over here is pretty suspect to me. Um, yeah, leaving this a little suspect. Tweet that off. Okay. Now I want to see price go below this low, but not get animated. I want to see it. Um, like I don't want to see it get animated to the downside if we're bullish. Is my point. I want to see it kind of just hang around here and then start to make our way to close above this red box. I know we have this, but this is a little bit far away, so we'll just keep that there. Keep it simple, you know? Ba, 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 ba. And I have to say, I'm really grateful for this. Like I'm so grateful for this. Like it gets tiring to keep saying that over and over again, probably. And, well, not saying it, but it's probably it gets annoying to keep hearing that, I guess. But yeah, it's just I don't take it for granted at all, man. All right, so now we're just expanding aggressively. All right, so now I want to see it. I want to see it now go higher for the bullish sentiment. I mean, based on this fractal, right? Because we have this is what 4 p.m. all the way to 8 p.m. That's a 4 hour range. So we took the high, low, high, low. So this is the first presented fair value gap of the hour. There is that. If we were to slap this on, this is not an ICT or TCM concept. It's something that I study. But in this case, it's not really gonna help. um, all right. Technically, since this high took out the hourly lows over here, I'm willing to entertain this as well. So I'll leave this on just because it's from the previous hour. But then, so I want to see us try to work above the opening price now of the hour. We'll make this orange. At the moment, it's neutral. Let's slap on the correlated assets. Okay, so this clearly not even close. So if we can take out this buy side, then I'm going to be looking for some run on sell side, whether it's a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, or it's an old low or a rejection block. Sorry, I'm just answering a few text messages while also my headphones are at 70%. These are pretty good on battery life, but yeah, I'm probably not going to be recording for that long anyway. It'll probably be annoying. Oh, sorry about that. Let's have the screen here for now, because the whole point is, I'm doing hourly case studies. So, okay. Now we have this as well. So I need to start seeing evidences of a buy program if we are bullish, that is. Right now, I'm not seeing that, to be clear. And we may never see that. And that's why I said the hourly draw is obviously that candle's high over here, right? So we'll put it on. Oh, we've actually hit it already. It's interesting. So then the next thing, yeah, so the next draw would be this guy. I would still like it to take some sort of buzz, even if it's bearish. Right now, it's not showing me that, so I'm going to adjust. Not enough range, but so right now I'll turn this red. So this hourly bullish order block is keeping price below it at the moment. That's not a good sign for a buy program, but it is a good sign for a sell program, so that's fine. So we're holding this. Next strong liquidity would be here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit right here. So to be clear, I'm not interested in trading anything. I don't need to trade at all, but I'm just saying I'm definitely not interested in trading if it goes lower because yeah, there's just a lot of obstacles for me to deal with. It's just annoying. Here, make this orange because right now it's trapping order flow. So that's an old candle's high. That's why I'm writing buy side liquidity on a bar by bar basis, of course. But yeah, okay. We go down, up. So if we trade below this, especially on a closing basis, then it would make us bearish. But at that point, I would need a high to get one on. Okay, I'm gonna mute until there's something to say. So there we go. Okay, so now we're starting to see evidences of a buy program, but of course I need to close above this, but it looks like it's likelier than not to close here, so that's nice. Um, yeah, so that's nice. We'll make this blue now. Cool. So now we've taken out a high here. Now I need to take out a low. Or since we already have, I'm willing to entertain this. Okay. Okay, precision is not really the goal for this. It's more so of just tracking ideas, like I said. So this sort of allows me to partial. Uh, if we do get offered this, That would be a nice area to partial. These I'll make gray just because it's already been used. This I'll make green. This would be a nice area to see reaccumulation, as in they do buying or they create buying fractals inside here. So your bullish patterns, whatever they are. Let me fix this. The low here is 115,706, so it would be 705.99. Okay. Again, it could still go down. I can be wrong, but so now it's looking like it wants to take out sell side. So after we take out sell side, the thing is, do we continue higher or no? No lows or candle lows are printing above this box, which is not the best for the bullish narrative. Okay, let's zoom into here. Okay, this low. Now I want to see us hold this as support if we're bullish. If we're not, then we're not going to hold this for support. So if we start rejecting this, that would be nice. This is swing low or no? Yeah, it is. But we have this little volume imbalance as well inside of here, so that's something to note. Have it hovering here in case. I guess we could say it's a good sign we're taking so long to cut this low. Okay, new minute. Okay. Now we want to see if we can close above this box, or well, the box, yes, the green box, but even within here we have this guy. A little hard to see, I guess, but okay. Okay. I wonder if there is SMT here itself. OTC USD. Yep, there we go. So lower lows and no lower low. All right. So now you look for this gray box to get sliced through and then potentially be used as, I guess, resistance turn support. Either this one or this one, but both of these need to be sliced through. This one makes more sense just because this gray box actually catalyzed a run below these. So, but again, I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched because anything can happen and it could still just dump. But get rid of this actually. Okay, let's. So now let's see it work into the opening price. The opening price of this current hour is I don't want to have too many things on the chart, but I'll just put it on for once. It's this 115.915.85. That's the opening price of this candle. So this is like a void, I guess you could treat it as. These two black lines, you can treat it as a void. Um, so for price to want to fill this in is pretty natural. So fill this void essentially. So let's actually, yeah, we can have these on, yes, but void. By the way, if you guys, whoever is watching, the one person, if at all, if you guys enjoy this, I'd appreciate, sharing, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It really helps me out because I'm just starting out, so I'd appreciate it a lot. I'm gonna put yeah, just because it's a large hourly candle. And I don't know, maybe I'll put it here. Put it here. Just again, not demanding that we um, take out an hourly external high, just in case. Even though we'll be studying to see if it can get there, but just in the interest of time. Or you know what, for the same reasons as before, in case there's like a spike or something. So 116.17499. Yeah, because that was the reasoning I had from before, right? So, okay. Okay, so let's see this act as support now. So we've gone up, down, up. Do it one more time. I'll zoom in a second, but I'm looking at this candle's low to see if we can find support here. I just want to be careful and not hit the orders, but yeah. I don't know if we've taken this low yet, but 115.79206. Yeah, so we have. We've taken out this low. Now I want to see if we can pump higher. Let's see at 11:30. It's the opening of the second 30 minute, or the second 30 minute uh, candle inside the hour. Now I want to see if it has the legs to continue higher into this, basically filling up this gray box completely and working into the low of that void, which is the opening price and the closing price, I guess, of the previous hour. So let's see immediate draw 115, 915, 85. So if we were able to expand above here, then I would want to see some measure of speed enter the marketplace. But anyway, unless there's something else to say, I'm gonna mute for a second, or I guess whenever there until there is something to say. So I'll put AFK here. Well, now that it's okay, getting some movement. So I don't want to see it get too animated to the downside. I mean, okay, we're revisiting the low of the box. I want to see it start to make its way above here. I've seen fractals where this leg can also take out um, like these lows and then go up. So I'll be accommodating for that just because the risk to reward is pretty good and we have some additional equity to play with from the previous setup. But after taking, if we do take this low, then I'd want to see it pump and then no more coming below here. Okay, 30-minute candle is open, by the way. That explains the large candles print to me, at least. But okay, now we're kind of stalling here, which is nice. So it's a good sign that it's kind of stalling over here. Now, again, I'd like it to now, if we do close above this green box and this high, I don't want to see us come down for this again. Let's put on ETH. This is also SMT. Okay. I want it to keep going higher. Get rid of this for now. I'm being more forgiving, sorry, as far as it not taking out outside here, just because obviously we've taken out a huge hourly low. So I'm not going to be picky about that. Okay, so who's taking on this low now? I don't want to see it get animated. This is too large for my liking, to be honest. But okay, we're taking this. Now, for the bullish narrative, I would need it to now pump higher. But if we don't, then it's likely that we're going to go down. So I'll keep my thing here. That's the thing about trading the preliminary phases of this bullish fractal is that this can still happen. So you're kind of leaving the opportunity open for another extra loss. Okay, now we've closed this. So yeah, it's not good for the bullish narrative. Okay, we've come into this that we were talking about from before. This will really be the last line of defense. But yeah, it doesn't, even if it goes up, it's not displaying a low resistance signature for a bar program. But I'm banking on the SMT so far. For bullish, I needed to see it, come up higher aggressively now because I can see a bearish pattern forming here as well. So for it to, and I need to invalidate the bearish pattern immediately. Like I can't have it stalling. Okay. I don't want to see it stall inside here at all. I want to see it just slice. I want to see it start closing above 3 bar swing highs, which is this first and foremost. I want to see it go. No more dilly dallying around if we're bullish. If not, then obviously it could just dump. But right now, if you see this high being taken, this low being taken, retracement, it could easily just dump. Um, but yeah, like I needed to invalidate this setup, essentially the bearish one. It being this high to this low being a dealing range, and then dumping from here out. I want to see it invalidate that. So the way it would do that, at least internal range for me, is if it closed above this high. So I want to see it do that first. And obviously closing above the box in itself. So we spoke about the volume imbalance. That's why I was kind of gauging, okay, we've obviously taken this, we're going lower. Do we hold this or not? That's why I was letting the stop loss do its work. But obviously, yeah, this is not ideal. But again, this is, it's a weekend, it's Bitcoin, blah, blah. Okay. Now I have a little bit more confidence and it wanted to go up. So now, again, I'm back interested uh, into this void being filled. So again, I'm really like this is where I want to take off majority volume, to be honest, inside this red box. Okay, we've closed above this high, which is nice. Now I want to see it find support here, then go right here. I'm gonna have a zoomed out perspective just so you know if I go AFK, then at least there's that context. But yeah, I'm probably gonna set up price alert here, to be honest. 116.0779. Okay, that's that. At least for now, we'll have it zoomed in here. Okay, have this pulled over here. So we want to see speed now. Didn't come into the bodies, but it hit the high. That's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go silent again, trying to preserve my voice as well. Sorry about that. The I opened up Netflix on the left side, so it's because I guess I'm not allowed to screen record Netflix, and that makes sense. It shut off the recording, but you can see that it was just for like a few seconds. So you can see that it's still the same analysis, same idea, markets open, blah blah. So I guess I can't watch Netflix, but that's okay. Yeah, so I will say I don't like, or I'm not enthused about the fact that we're not taking out this high, but at the same time, we are very close to closing the hour. So I'm wondering if it's holding for the next hour to keep going. But yeah, it's not a great sign. Also, I'm gonna be modifying my max effort to not the hourly high, but this red box, just simply because the recording is almost uh, you know, definitely over 2 hours if we're looking at part one as well. So yeah, it's just not realistic to keep this going for like, 5, 6 hours. But get if I'm right at all. Okay, this is the area that's still inefficient. So let's see. Get rid of that. Yeah. Let's slap on the midnight mark. Yeah, we've just been barcoding after reaching this level over here. We're closing above the green box, below, above, below. So it's not the best. Yes, he can destroy for sure. Yeah. So invalidated that. That's fine. What we'll do is, yeah, we're still ahead. It's a thing that, because I'm pyramiding ideas, but that's okay. I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. So now we have to wait and see if this is a Judas the next hour. But we also have a downside target, right? So let's go on the hourly for a second. Do this. Okay, so go up, down, up, down, up. Yeah, so this should have been the retracement and then push if we were bullish for the upside. But now I have to obviously adjust, which is fine. Here. So up, down. So now what I'm going to do is have this over here. So move down, move up, and now we've taken it low. So now this at this point, let's see it more. So if we can get on into this area over here, that'd be nice. waiting for the next hour. Oh, did I? Oh, what? Okay, well, that was a mistake. So let me buy back 6. Boom. I'm just trying to gauge. Okay. We'll put it here. Right there. Why there? Because the reason I'm going 6 all the way here is because since now the range of opportunity is shorter, I don't I'm not banking on having, a lot of opportunities to pyramid. If I'm giving them, then that's fine. But yeah. So okay, let's okay. Well, let me refine it because then it ends up being too much. Okay. The inval, let me calibrate. This is 115.77157. 115.77157. Okay. TP is 115.554. 55454. Oh, I don't know if I 115.554. Did I not? There we go. All right. Okay. This is where we should see speed, which is why I'm pyramiding one more time. Sorry. Here. So this is the previous hourly low. And now we're working inside here. But I'd like it to stay below this box here. Let's get rid of that. Now really the speed is below here, which we have taken, so now I don't want to see it really spend too much time in here. Let's make this purple. So get a little bit more variety in. So this yellow box, all of this is balanced. So this is actually not necessary anymore. We could rate a high. I'm leaving allowance for it, but I prefer it not. That's okay. It would be understandable for it to need to engineer buy side liquidity inside the current hour before it takes it lower if I'm right at all. It'd be really funny now if it starts rallying, but then it's fine. I'll adjust. It's just I don't want to make this too long, but The reason I'm relying on this IFVG is because, well, this is all one consecutive imbalance, so I can't just draw this. I would have to draw it all the way from here. Okay, now I want to see it go, like rip. Especially if we close below this, I want to see it rip. Big body ranges or large down candle ranges. And you see there's somewhere that this would be a partial over here. And then, really, to be honest, yeah, this would be next. So I guess I'm trying to see what that was. Oh, that was the daily high. Yeah. Yeah, that was the daily high. Okay. Well, in that case, I don't really care about this because the daily obviously takes precedence. 115, 554. Oh, shit. Well, 554, 54. Yeah. All right. Let's go a little bit. So look at the closing price as well. So reject closing price and dump. It's a good little signature. Oh, sorry about that. Bum, bum, bum. All right. There we go. Back to the 1 minute. So we can get rid of this too. So this is the low to close of the previous hourly candle. That's nice. We've taken out the previous hourly low. So now we could see a protraction, but again, I'd rather it just dump. But obviously that goes without saying. Yeah, this would be somewhere at a partial. What would this be? This is south side. It's an hourly candle low, but it's still something to me. Up, up. Okay. So but the yellow box is just hourly candle based balance price range. Trying to just orient my screen so that all the necessary information is present. Um, what's the price? So 115,589 would be event horizon between my two targets. Just get rid of this. It's a tool to help me park because this is a really large space, so I want to be running down equity into here, or like taking something off the table. Let's go now. I want to see it run spool. So annoying. Actually, I might just bring it to the low of the purple box a little bit, just to give it some room to breathe. Yeah, but this is not a good sign for bearish. So I'm gonna scrap this. Being really finicky. This kind of a move is not. Yeah, at this point it should have just run. But again, maybe it needs to run intra-hour buy side, so I'm leaving room for that. Just eyeballing. So far, no hourly candle highs have been taken, so I'm still operating on the bearishness. I'm just eyeballing the stop loss here. There we go. I went with 10 because it's an easy number to. Do. Okay, this blue level. Yeah, I'm definitely done after this. It's getting exhausting. Can only speak for so much, for so long. But here, I want you to eyeball 50% of the two orange lines while I put this back on here. And I'm just eyeballing this. Now it's not going to be exact, but good enough. Okay, now we should just go. Stay in the lower half, lower quadrant of this guy. Just spool. I mean, that's, yeah, more than. Okay, so we're coming here. Partial out. Next thing would be here. More, more, more. At the low of the hourly or the minute candle, I'm going to be looking to take one more off. Maybe I'll just take off the TP and I'll just leave one on, I guess. What's this? 115,696.96. 115,696. 96. That's fine. Basically the low of the previous hour. That's fine. So make that here. This is engaged. The reason I'm not having a hard TP for that last unit is because obviously we have little time to the hour closes, so at least might as well nurse it. Okay, we're getting very close. That's a daily level. Okay, get rid of that. And boom. All right, so we have one remaining. We're gonna leave that guy on. So you've seen in this recording, since we started at like 10, a little before, a little after maybe. But the point is that, you saw me get it right, get it wrong, get it right, switch between, and that's the important part, at least in my opinion. Because again, real-time price action. See that green dot? Sorry. Market open, weekend, Bitcoin, Coinbase, all that good stuff. All right, another one here. Yeah, the next daily level is over here. These are just hourly mile markers. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be recording until here, to be honest. So maybe these two, but yeah, the rejection block maybe. But yeah, I'm not gonna. It's a little ridiculous. But here, maybe not even this. This is just something like a mile marker. But maybe I'll just let the final one go to here. Either the end of the hour or this, whichever comes first. And if we hit this by the end of the hour, and that's fine. No problem. At least it'll give me time to tape read. Okay, we have really this would be ideal. This would be the best one. Okay, I'm done executing. So I am through. This is sell side liquidity, and so is this. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm gonna be zooming in just so you know we only have the vital stuff on there. I'm not gonna be going over all the execution markers at the end of this because it's already too long, and you can obviously rewind and check through that yourself. But I will go through the account history when this is all wrapped up. Okay, I'm gonna go AFK and just let this guy just do what it needs to do. I'll unmute in case there's something to say. But again, this red box, we pop into here, look to see if it can catalyze our run into this blue line over here. All right, well, I'm going to take this off. Oh, will it stop us out? If it stops us out, then don't. So inner our equilibrium reached. We have closed above the red box, but I'm looking for that to be a mohawk ideally. So now I want to see it aggressively get below this red box and close below it. Because it's rebalanced now. So okay, yeah, that's not a good sign for bearish. It's probably going to stop us up. And then after that, whatever it does, I could care less, but probably going to stop us up. Honestly, I hope it does at this point. I think we've done pretty. I don't think anyone can say I cherry picked a specific just trade and just ended the recording after. I think, recording and tape reading and executing all that. This is all the account history here. So we started at 100K, then I'll just go up slowly. That's it. All right. Been stopped out. Amazing. Very content with how it played out. Um, yeah, so let's come on. Okay, let's remove this. Just for my curiosity, see how it behaves at the opening price of the hour. Basically seeing it, okay, is it gonna make a new high of the hour and then dump maybe, or no? Because the open and the high is the same. Just because it is gonna bother my OCD if I don't wait until one. Okay, and above the because we have come into a daily level again. Yeah, I'm just gonna tape read the rest of this hour and then we'll go. All right, so it looks like it doesn't want to protract from the opening price. So the only logical thing would be to look for this. The high of the previous hour. Well, the opening price would be the easiest. And I'm trying to get out of here, so we'll make that black. So we offer sell side, buy side. So now if we could come into this box over here, that would be a nice thing to study. Maybe if we come down to here and then pop up. Because the yellow box, like I said, is all bounced. So really no reason for us to go up there unless the trend has changed after hitting that daily level. Okay. Doesn't look like it wants to retrace. So then I'm gonna look at this. Now look at inversion fair value gap. So close above, use this as support now, and then run through there. So all this bit is bounced within the hour. Yeah. All of it is bounced. So now we look for this guy. So we closed above it. And then now we're retesting this and not pushing. It would have been better if it created like a 3-bar swing low like inside of here. But if it has to go, it has to go. It's okay. So by the way, this is also a void. So if you were to eyeball the quadrants of this void, that would be interesting too. So if we have quadrants, extend. So you see these quadrants now get used as support on the way up. So if we hit this lower quadrant, that would be a nice. No, there's no range. There's no range. So now we've hit this. Push. Yeah, I'm done executing. So I'm gonna turn this off. So now we get to midpoint of set void. I'm gonna zoom in. The purple part's already explained. So I have that over here. So now that point is within the hour. Can we first and foremost take this out and then work into this level and then finally the med box and then fill the void. So if it can create a 3-bar swing low like it is, that'd be nice. Then if the high goes after that, that'd be nice. So again, think about if you had your stop losses here, how would you be feeling? Probably not very comfortable. I wouldn't want price if we closed above this high. I wouldn't want price to really come back below this blue box, to be honest. You know what? Just for it is a valid idea. So waiting for it to make its move above the. I would have the marker on, but it's just too much on the screen at that point. Okay. Just so I can partial something inside here. I'll record. So I said till the end of the hour, but I'll record till this idea is either invalidated or uh, met, or I guess completed in either regard, whether it's successful or not. Because otherwise, it's gonna bother me, and it's a pretty small fractal, so it's okay. So you close above the high, so now I want to see it start running for this. All right, I'm gonna go AFK. I'm not gonna tape read anymore. I'm just gonna go AFK until it's invalidated or completed. So yeah. Yeah, so sorry, I'm monitoring this. The thing is, again, technically, we still haven't taken out an hourly candle high, so we're still in a bearish bar path. Um, or bar flow rather. So the fact that if we close up as an up candle, we could just dump right on the following hour. So, but again, I'm just saying that, but yeah, really we should be continuing higher, but it seems like we're gonna chop into the rest of the hour. But my inval is now below this candle's low, so let's see. Yeah, really we should not be making our way below this blue box over here if we are bullish. But if we're not, then obviously we're just gonna continue going down, which is fine. If anything, this would probably be if we are bearish in the next hour or whatever. I'm not gonna record that, but then it would slice down pretty easily because all of this is balanced, and this would be an up candle. So, because yeah, we hit midpoint of the void, took out buy side, so it's quite a lot of work. So if we are bullish, we would need to close back above this and continue going higher. Continue going higher. Sorry, starting to lose my voice. How long is this? Yeah, this is an hour too, so almost 3 hours. Yeah, yeah. Doesn't look like that's okay. But there's a silver lining in all this that if we are not going to be bar by bar bullish, then that means that the sell should be spectacular. So we can study this to see, okay, well, does it keep going into, I mean, we had the levels on here before, so you'll know, right? Just because it's not on there. But I'm not interested in holding through this chop. We're still, it doesn't make a dent. Take this off. Okay. In the previous hour, there was this. So we took this out. Yeah, it's really sketchy that it's not holding this and continue to go higher. Sketchy for the bullish sense. Because if we go back below this, then really there's no reason to be bullish anymore. And at that point, um, yeah, at that point, then pretty much this low. Or just this inefficiency be good. But again, it's all about the blue box for me. Damn, I may end up recording for longer. The only thing that's changed is because it's an up candle, so the sell off would be good. Sorry about that. So, but the good thing is we have a pretty we can reuse the same target if it does go down there again. I guess I would have to end the recording when my headphones die, and it's only at 60%. So yeah, this is probably not going to be a sit and watch in one time type of thing. But again, at least no one can tell me that I cherry pick trades and only record one specific trade or whatever if I'm doing it for several hours. We're going hour by hour, right? So yeah, we're still holding this candle. So to be bullish at this point, even wicking above here doesn't really mean I'm bullish on an hourly basis, but closing above here would be different because we can still wick above here and then retrace and then still go up, right? That's a different thing. But so we'll revisit this, but for now, even this guy over here is this inefficiency over here. So if we're bullish, um, this would be the best buy, like this fair value gap inside here. I might have to excuse myself for a little bit because I need to take my dog out. Um, yeah, let's get rid of that. Where's the opening price here? Okay. Well, this high would change for the hour, obviously. If it creates another one, then I'll adjust it. So we're still holding this down candle. That's fine. I'm glad I exited, even if it goes and hits the target. That's fine. We can still study it. But I wasn't interested in holding that because it encroached so deep into this high. I would have just liked, okay, we hit this, mohawk this, push. But this is like a, I don't know if this is like a hammer or like upside down hammer. I don't know. But the bullish version, whatever that is, or the up candle version, I guess. Not necessarily bullish. So either for a bearish stance, we raid this and then go down, or we just respect this high and then go down. Watching this. So really, yeah, if we get back below this, then it's not really bullish, in my opinion, at least on an hourly basis. Okay, next hour is starting. Just examining this. Now we're trapped between this. So let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. All right. So this guy. This would be the target, I guess, if you will. If we are bearish, then we should create some measure of like a selling pattern at this price, which is 115.732.73, which is the opening of the previous hour. So now, if we're bearish, I would want to see it not hold this blue box at all and to use it as resistance on the way down. I did two, so I have something of partial. Down, up, then now. Down. So I want to see it close below this. Okay. It's a void. Let's receive that over here. Then bring that over here. Make that blue. We'll make this gray just to add some difference. Maximum effort. Okay. So yeah, first and foremost, obviously closing below this. Okay. I'll permit running above the previous hourly high as well. Maybe a second attempt. Took out sell side. Buy side, I want to see us take out sell side again. Whether, we do it after taking out the side or not, that's a different thing. Really hitting an energy wall. Yeah, likelier than not that we take out this high based on how we're acting. Again, don't forget the daily candles are still inside bar, right? So let's get rid of this. We'll entertain what happens after this. Again, we're still holding this, and yeah, the original buy plan could, be successful if we came into here. That's fine. But yeah, it was just making me sketchy holding, if we're digging so deep into this. Whereas I would have just wanted to have it just come into here and then pump, but it's all good. We're still way at the same time, just because I'm ahead in the session doesn't mean that I want to keep taking these little micro cuts. That's why I'm only entertaining the shorts as far as like execution goes, because like moving forward is because the range is not that suitable if I'm going for proximal highs and lows hourly wise. Well, you know. I'm gonna change this. Because it'll allow me to partial if it gets there, and also will cover the. Okay, so we're rejecting the closing price the previous hour, so it's adapting. Use this just to see if it can act as support. Gray box, no need for us to come back down below if we're bullish. Take that off. Okay, again, let's revisit this. Previous hourly high and open. Sorry, open. If we're offered this, then we partial something here. I know I drew it from there before, but I'm just factoring in this market structure. So I know again the hourly bar path hasn't changed in terms of we haven't taken out a high and then closed on a candle, but the fact that it's a green candle, so we either should have died, and we can still die after taking out the high, but this is close enough where I feel like it could reach into this. At least give me a partial into here, or the open. It's, oh my god. Right. We'll see if this box can catalyze higher prices. Okay. So now we've taken out the previous hourly high. Now I don't want to see it for the bullish narrative. I don't want to see it show signs of a turtle soup reversal. I want to see it just keep pumping. at least into the red box, and then if we get quote unquote lucky, the price here 115, 915.86, and then obviously the terminus where the TP is. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Easier on the eyes. Here, there we go. All right, let's go AFK until there's something to speak about. Okay, so we have just been able to partial off one, uh, or I guess half. Now I want to see if we can gravitate into this. And then I really have to go. It is 1:30 in the morning. But all right, let's see if we can get above this. Okay, I want to bring this up a little bit more to this over here. Okay, take off another one over here. Awesome. Great. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, guys. Whoever's watched this, I appreciate your time. You probably won't be able to watch it all at once, but I appreciate any feedback. And like I said, it would really help if you could subscribe, like, comment, share, um, if I do decide to make this public. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much. And just going to review this one more time. So let's start from the beginning. This, 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 and this, and this. It's probably annoying to hear on the speaker, but it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna shut this off, and yeah, I'm not gonna wait till 2. We're done. We're done. Um, yeah, whether now we dump later or we keep going up, that's for another time. But yeah, as far as what I had to do, I've proven my point. But anyway, thank you so much. Goodbye.